tell me about iOS 5. What are some of the changes?
The two biggest features of iOS 5, in my opinion, are auto update or software update and iMessage. An example of how iMessage is revolutionary. We've got a team from our office that's going to Africa in January. Oddly enough, there is readily available 3G access in Africa, so we can rent a 3G card very inexpensively, plug it into a laptop, then use the laptop to share and create a hotspot. And from then on, with iMessage, you can text home, and at no cost. Because iMessage runs over either Wi-Fi or 3G. It's not using the traditional cell network, the SMS channel. It's huge. You can actually turn airplane mode on and still be able to text people and receive text as long as you have an available Wi-Fi connection.
Even in airplane mode?
Yeah, because you can turn Wi-Fi on in airplane mode. And so again, when we use that 3G signal that we've rented, plug it into a laptop and create a mobile hotspot. The Mac has that built in. It's called internet sharing, and then you can text back and forth to anybody that has iOS 5. And then software update's huge because I consider myself in the minority that my phone gets every point release. So if 4.0.1 came out, I got it that day. Right. That is not how regular people use their phones. Regular people get their phones and usually never sync them to anything. And so they weren't backing up, they weren't doing anything, they weren't on the latest release. They'd have somebody to do it for them, or maybe they read about a new feature, then they went and found the update. But with software update built into iOS 5, the phones will auto-update themselves when they're on Wi-Fi, and they will back up using iCloud. And so people's data is backed up and secure, and everybody will be on the latest version. Now, that's huge from a development standpoint because developers can easily take advantage of the latest APIs. APIs are application programming interfaces in the software because they know the majority of the people are going to be transitioning automatically to iOS 5 or iOS 6 because it'll be a seamless update. There's no more syncing to a computer to do that. So that allows us as users to get the latest and greatest from our developers and keep our phones very, very secure. So iOS 5 is big. Now, a lot of people say, like I have the iPhone 4 still. A lot of people say, will the iPhone 5 be out in the summer or the fall next year? You know, obviously there are rumors. I think it will be out in the summer because I think the phone was ready this past summer. It was iOS 5 that wasn't ready because iOS 5 was such a huge update. Right. And so I think it's huge. I think it's huge. And from one of the perspectives that's huge for me at our office is we have awful 3G service. Awful. I mean, it's a tornado bunker. Yeah. We have the microcells from AT&T, and it's still not great, but we have great Wi-Fi. So iMessage, anybody that I'm texting on iOS 5, it's going out over Wi-Fi, so it's super fast. I'm not missing text. Texts are going through every time.
Now, I'm sure there's people watching that are saying, "Yeah, isn't that like BlackBerry Messenger? How is that different?" iMessage
is unique in that you don't know it's there. The only way you know you're on iMessage is because your texts are blue instead of green. Somehow, Apple knows who is on iOS 5 and who's not. And so if you go to text someone who has iOS 5, you can text their Apple ID. That's one option, but the seamless way is just text their phone number, and it just automatically knows it. I don't know how they're doing it. It's great. It's great. Now, BlackBerry Messenger, I believe you had to know like their BlackBerry Messenger handle and things like that.
Their PIN number.
Yeah. You just know their phone number. It's seamless. It's a feature like that is so revolutionary because everybody takes advantage of it. My father-in-law has an iPhone. He does not know he's on iMessage. Now, of course, I updated his phone for him. Now I won't have to.
So, in other words, you're on the new iOS. I'm on the new iOS. I just send you an SMS text message, and it goes over that network. We don't have to do anything?
Right, exactly. You'll notice when you start to type the text, in the text field, it'll change from saying text message to iMessage. It'll be blue. Okay. That's how you know. And you'll notice if you're on Wi-Fi, it's significantly faster. Right. Now, the caveat is you would think, well, I can cut my text message plan off now. That'd be great. Save $20 a month. We pay that in family texting. Yeah. Well, the caveat is, unless everybody you know is on an iPhone on iOS 5, you still got people that will text.
Oh, okay.
But and also, and so you think, well, maybe I'll drop off the unlimited and go to the 1,500 text messages or the 500 text messages. Right. Well, soon after iMessage was announced, most of the carriers changed their plans. It's either unlimited or a la carte. And so they're still locking you in. Yeah. But the thought is in a couple of years when more and more of your friends are on iMessage, you can just cut off the text message and be done.
And this is not just text but also multimedia video
It is.
pictures as well.
And this is nothing that's big in business. Maybe it is, but like typically when you would send a video as an SMS, it would downgrade the quality significantly because it's trying to fit that video on basically a voice channel.
Right.
Well, over iMessage, it's not compressed as much. So when you can text videos, it's better quality. Again, it's seamless. Those are the I love iCloud and I love all the things about that. That's a non-techie can never use iCloud and they'll never know. But iMessage is one of those things that it's just in there and it just works and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because the fact that we're still paying for text messages is kind of absurd. It should be free.
Yeah. Well, I remember on my BlackBerry, not only through Messenger could you send and it was free, but it was so much faster, and also you could see literally almost the other person writing the message.
Well, and you can see that on iMessage when they're typing. You'll see a ... and you can see that. You can send read receipts if you want to. You do group messaging. It's really a revolutionary feature, and not so much as it is today, but just knowing they will probably eventually extend that to the Mac. There'll probably be an iMessage client for the Mac, and so I'm a big fan of iMessage. If I could only have one feature from iOS 5, it would be iMessage.
Yeah. Wow. Are you using the reminders feature already?
I am. I actually use that on the way over here. I don't have Siri because I don't have an 4S, and I know I would use it even more with if I had Siri. But I'm doing a lot of the location reminders that. Like there's something I need to do when I get back to the office. Well, I just sit on there. It knows where I'm at. Say when I'm at work, remind me of this, and it works great. Right. What's funny is I live so close to my work. Usually when I'm pulling out of my office, I'm getting the home reminders, so it's kind of funny. But the location reminders are great because you can say, hey, when I'm at work when I get to work on Monday, remind me of this. It just works, and it's great. Especially with Siri, you can be on the way home on Friday and say, when I get to work. On Monday, remind me to fax this form, and then you can set it and forget it.
Right. Now, I don't know if this feature is available or will be available, but wouldn't it be cool if you could assign tasks to team members and assign location? Like, hey, you're going this way, so that when they get over there, something else pops up and tells them to do something.
You can do that now. It's very complicated to do that. I'll post in the show notes an article by Sean Blanc about using a shared calendar with reminders. Now, it wouldn't be, I don't know that it would be great in a team member setting. It's really, his article was about like husband and wife, like sharing grocery lists and things. Okay. But you can see the writing on the wall if there was like third-party application access. To that would be great. You could build tasks for people. It's like, hey, you're going to the distributor this morning. I need you to pick up this stuff, and when they pull in there, their shopping list will pop up. Yeah. And so the location reminders is big in iOS 5, and also the biggest thing though with location that was changed was called region monitoring. In iOS 4, if something held your GPS, it is draining your battery. You would never want something to hold your GPS unless it was like a GPS app. Then you were plugged into a car charger in the car to hold the battery. Right. But in iOS 5, they've optimized that where it doesn't drain your battery. So.
Well, I guess for those that want to know, does that, like if you move from one cell tower to another, it's
checking in every so often to see where you're at. It's not constantly holding the location like it did in 4. So it's all about it's big on battery saving, and we all want to save our battery.
Right. It's cool. So I guess bottom line is if you haven't upgraded, get iOS 5 now.
And shame on you if you haven't. God, it's been out. It's been out. Now, I'll tell you, it's been nice because when we're on 5.0.1 and it pops up, says, hey, do you want to install this update? And there you go, good to go. And if you haven't signed up for iCloud, do that. It's free. You can back up your phone to it, and that way if you lose your phone, it's very, very easy to get a new phone. My boss got a new 4S. We were at Firehouse Subs eating lunch, and he handed me his phone and said, hey, can you get this set up? Signed into his iCloud account, restored from the backup we'd made that morning. Phone was, even his background was the same. It was really nice. It's a good feature.
Yeah. Cool. Cool stuff.
All right. Have a good day.